Hello. Welcome to the Team Aquarius show. That's what Chesterton said. I can't.
We had
Yeah.
it's New Year's, right?
Mhm.
If
Right.
we just passed New Year, it's the
Right.
fourth today. Um, People keep talking about health goals, right?
Hmm.
Cannot escape it
Yeah.
after New Year's. It's kind of a topic. And Lacey was just saying something that I thought was really relevant to that topic. So we're going to talk about Mars in your chart and how that relates to health goals, right?
Yes.
'Cause
And I thought this was gonna be like a quick video. I have stuff on other sites that I've pointed out to, like I had a Lacey Wester health coach for a while. And so I did the Mars through the signs on there. So maybe we'll link that in if you really want to know more about it. But
go way deeper, yeah.
yeah, Mars is how we attack things, how we go after things, how we win things, right? What motivates us, right? What would we fight for, right? What would we, and when I think about working out, I think about like somebody who's not unlike a Mars, right? The god of war. I want to stay in shape so I can go into battle. I want to, stay this. And so Mars, where it is in the chart, can indicate what that Mars will do and what it needs, right? And different Mars need different things. It's not
Yeah.
fair to say that every Mars is the same. And I think we all know that it's a
Right.
side by now.
So if your health goals don't feel aligned, right, you're just doing it for some, whatever. Maybe looking at your Mars will help tone in a
Right.
better health goal, right?
Yes.
So, for example, an Aries Mars.
Mm-hmm. And Aries Mars will do anything it feels like it is winning at. If you put a Mary who has an Aries Mars,
I
but
I do have an Aries Mars.
if you put an Aries Mars, and let's say it's in the house too, because the houses matter here too, right? House is health. And so Mars has dignity there. So Mars can actually make it harder on you to do things than it would normally, right? Um, and we can talk about that too. But so Mars in Aries has to feel like it's competent and like it can win, right? I do not want to go into a thing where I feel like everybody there is going to be in way better shape than I am. I just don't even want to, right?
Competitive element, right?
Yes. Yes.
But if you can compete against yourself somehow,
Right.
that might be more motivating.
Right.
I find Beat Saber, right? Because it's kind of a game, very
Mm-hmm.
motivating,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Versus a Taurus moon, right?
Right.
I picture that as very slow moving and chill,
Yes.
right? This I think
Yes.
would be more yoga, slower pace,
Yeah.
right?
Taurus Mars loves to usually lift weights. So they're going to be more into bodybuilding things and lifting heavy objects,
That
moving
makes sense.
heavy objects, or
It's a bull,
yeah, or working out, farming, or something like that. Right. That's the other thing.
right? Getting your hands like dirty or being outside,
Right.
right? But I think something slower moving
Mm-hmm.
would be more ideal.
Right.
Whereas I think it's kind of the opposite for a Gemini Mars.
Yep.
Maybe
Right.
something more stimulating, something
So
that's not going to get boring.
that's right. That's exactly something with hands, right? Something with hands would be a Mars Gemini. And the other thing with Mars Gemini is that Gemini takes a while to rev up, right? It doesn't just start necessarily, like, or it's harder for them to just start. If they join a class or if they're teaching a class, right? It's that Sagittarius Mars would
Yep.
be similar. If they can do things with friends, if they can do
Yep.
a class and they're learning something or they're teaching something, then they're more likely to stay
A
engaged.
social element involved, right? It's a
Exactly.
lot more natural for a Gemini. And if
Mhm.
there's someone there to hype them up, like a Sag,
Yep.
even better,
Yes.
right?
And they're both mutable, right? So I can be into it or not, into it or not, into it or not. So make sure you're partnering with someone in those ones who will hype you up. Yeah. Make you feel good. Right.
But
What?
then a Cancer Mars, right? This is what we were talking about this morning when we said your health goals should depend on how you're wired, right? And so a
Right.
Cancer Mars, which is something you've worked with a
Yes.
lot.
Yes. So my husband has a Cancer Mars sixth house. If you know someone who has this placement, it can be really hard. Obesity tends to stay on this person, right? Because Cancer is the source, right? Cancer has to boil the ocean to feel motivated, right? Cancer is cozy. I feel motivated by coziness. So how do you Mars in Cancer, right? And then because it's food related, Mars and Cancer will best be able to attack this if they feel motivated to make food that is familiar and healthy, if you will, right? If you could focus on those things. And then the other thing with Mars is very psychic. So if a Mars Cancer is living in a home with a lot of tension or a lot of friction, it doesn't feel like a sanctuary to them, then they will really pack on, right? They will really feel the need to put a barrier between themselves and others.
And it's water, right? So there's an emotional component.
That's
So
right.
food could be more emotional than it
Yeah.
might be for a different sign, right? For a different element.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, so Leo is the next one, and that's fire,
Right.
right? And so that's different.
Mm-hmm.
And a Leo Mars, I imagine, would be more motivated by something fun, right? Like a
Yes.
game,
Yeah.
right? Or
A sports
playing with
leader.
kids,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
right?
Yes, playing with kids, exactly. Mars and Leo both kind of have that, right? Mars is like the mama, Mars Cancer is like the mama, feels motivated by a family, will get
Right,
into shape and into health for family.
right.
And then a Mars Leo, same thing. If you have children, they will feel more motivated, right, to work it. And bravery. So a Mars wants to
Ah,
be a part of a team, it wants to be a leader of a team, Mars and Leo, and it wants to feel brave in whatever it is that it's doing.
right.
But I
I
think of
think
team sports with, yeah,
I think fire has that a little bit in common, right? Like more so bravery with Leo, right?
yeah,
But
right.
there is a nobility in
Yeah,
fighting with Sag, and there's
yes.
a warriorness to Aries. So there's kind of a
Sparring. Yeah.
yeah, a commonality
Hmm.
with the fire signs. But
Right.
then, okay, so then Leo's fun, and then next would be Virgo moon
Yeah.
or Mars.
Virgo, Mars. So that is something that I have, right? I feel motivated by health for health's sake, for sure. I'll be like, Mars, actually, Mars Virgo is kind of easy in some ways because it's easy for us to be like, oh, that's healthy. I'm just going to do that, right? Or they can stick to plans. So a
Right,
Mars Virgo can stick to a restricted plan, even, right? Like
right.
it's not even,
So
but I have a
then
Saturn there. So yeah.
you as a health coach,
Hmm.
pre-astrology,
Right.
did you find that it was frustrating that
Oh,
people couldn't just do
yeah.
what they needed to do to
Right.
be healthy,
Right. Right. And then I learned astrology and went, oh, right.
right? Not everybody can operate in the same way,
Yes.
right? Doesn't mean that a Virgo couldn't be in service. A
No,
Virgo Mars would want to be in service in a
that's
healthy
right.
way,
Oh, I definitely
right?
stayed healthier when I was teaching it and learning it, right? Then
Right,
if you have that component in there and prescriptive, a Mars and Virgo is going to be like, ooh, superfoods, right? Like I can't ignore if I can put a superfood in something, I'm like, oh, ooh, extra health, there is a thing there. And then what next one, Libra, Mars and Libra, that is definitely have a partner. I feel motivated by partners, right?
yeah. If you don't have a partner that's willing to go to the gym with you, that
Hmm.
could be an issue for a Mars
Yes.
Libra, right?
Yes.
Like you would need maybe that companionship and support. Like I
Right.
need to walk with a friend. I need,
Or also being in an aesthetically pretty place. Mars and Libra is like ballet, right? Doing
oh
something with
yeah,
dance, maybe,
dancing, dancing.
right? Something flowy, right? Something that's like, look beautiful while you do it. Mars and Libra, Which Mars and Libra, I mean, Libras want to be pretty, right? So if you have like a sweaty Libra, they may not love that. So I don't know. You
Right.
have to
They
like,
would wear makeup to
yeah,
the
makeup to
gym,
the
and
gym.
it would be a really pretty, aesthetically pleasing gym,
Yes. Yes.
right? And you would have aesthetically pleasing athletic wear.
Yes. I'm also going to say that for a Sag Mars too. Aesthetics matters for a Sag Mars, seems to, right? Comfortable clothing,
Yeah,
aesthetic
and I would say
clothing.
leaning into your element is a good idea too. So if you have a water Mars, like we've talked about Cancer so far,
Oh, yeah.
and Scorpio is next,
Swimming. Cancer Mars
swimming,
love swimming. Yeah.
swimming. And that would be the same for a Scorpio.
Yeah.
right? A Scorpio Mars
Mm-hmm.
might feel, but maybe not want to do it as publicly,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So that could be more difficult. I imagine a Scorpio Mars probably like a hot tub privately more so than a
Yes.
swimming pool, right?
Yeah.
But a Scorpio Mars is ambitious, right?
Naturally. Yeah. There it's Mars domicile, Mars home, as is Mars in Aries. But like a Mars in Scorpio is like kind of extra prepared because then they really like to do solo stuff, right? Or if they are pursuing some kind of something with someone. So if somebody can like statistics, stats, Mars and Scorpio, like stats, how many did I do this day? People, I see a lot of Mars Scorpio people wearing those like trackers on their wrists where they're like tracking things.
I imagine that would be air signs too, right?
Yeah.
Some sort of intellectual component to it,
Right. Tech component for maybe a Mars and Aquarius, a tech component for sure.
right?
Yeah.
Right. And maybe even Libra, that could be part of the aesthetics, maybe is like
Right.
the Apple Watch to track it and be able to see,
Right.
right? Or
But
Gemini too, or possibly because of
I have
the
yet to
technology.
meet a Mars and Scorpio who suffers from obesity, at least
Right.
the way you think of obesity, right? Like it seems to be extra normal and easy for them to not struggle so much as a Cancer Mars does, or maybe even as a Pisces Mars, right? It's like Mars and Cancer seems to struggle the most with weight, right?
Right.
Water,
Yeah,
right?
they literally carry the weight of the
Everyone's
like
emotions,
ancestry on
right?
them, right?
Right.
Everybody's emotions super empathetic.
So when you
So
have someone who has, so this is the unfairness that, right? And this is something that I learned as a health coach when I saw this, is I was like, "Ah, it is not fair of me to have a Virgo health focused Mars anyway, right? To get so frustrated with or mad at people who don't have that same Mars motivation, right? Health is the motivation. Why aren't you motivated, right? Like,
right, right,
it's not fair, but you can work with whatever Mars you have, right? So there's never an excuse to say, ah, well, fuck it. You know what I mean? That's always low
right.
vibrational, always. But there is something to be said for knowing how you work,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Sag, fire. I would say all the fire signs might benefit from some level of impulsivity, like
Yeah.
not exactly knowing the exact thing,
Right.
right? Like archery is a kind of a no-brainer, maybe even for Sag
Yeah.
Mars.
Yeah, I know.
It's
I
kind
thought the
of
same thing. Something with
pretty
beast, though,
little.
right? Sag is lusty. That's a lusty Mars there. That's what I think of.
It's also a noble one,
It is.
right? So like make it feel like if you're fighting for
Yeah, I think
something.
of like sparring or like roughhousing when I think of a Sag.
Fun. Yeah, fun. Yeah. Yep, yep.
Yeah,
Wrestling.
something where
Um,
independence matters too, right? You're with,
right.
I think I like boxing, maybe it could be an interesting
Right.
Sag.
Well, you wouldn't know what's coming exactly, right? And I think that's the impulsivity
Yeah,
that all of those fire signs need. But Leo can have more, like, wants more fun with that. And
right.
Aries wants more, maybe
Win.
hardcore battle, where I think Sag is a little bit more, it's mutable, it's free flowing,
Right,
it's
right.
noble, right? But like,
Aries
yeah,
is
I
like, are
could
we
see like,
doing this or what? When it feels cocky, when it feels like it's winning, right? When it feels like
right.
it's, oh, bitch.
Versus like a Cap Mars,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Capricorn Mars would be next.
that's exalted.
Earthy,
Yeah, Capricorn Mars.
exalted.
Hmm. Yeah, Capricorn Mars has natural strategies right there, naturally motivated by grinding, climbing, so hiking for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
That would be a big one.
Huge.
You would want to be out, any of the earth signs want to be outside, right? Like
Yeah.
they need to be breathing fresh air and,
Something where
having
you
some,
feel your muscles. You feel what you're made of, what you're built of,
mm, yeah,
right?
I could see that. Yeah.
So anything that's like muscle straining that you like feel the tension of the releasing and contracting of muscles seems to be a very Earth Mars thing.
I feel like, yeah. And then running, it feels a little bit Capricorn, right? Because it's, You could feel your bones, right, when
Right.
you're hitting the ground,
Right.
right? There's a pushing, there's a mental pushing, right? There's a climb.
Yeah.
Biking would also, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there would be an element of pushing yourself with a
Yeah.
Capricorn Mars that would be important.
Scaling, something about scaling, right?
Yeah.
Climbing, rock
Progress.
climbing, right? My
They would also,
Capricorn rising sun likes rock climbing.
I imagine Capricorn and Aquarius both like some form of tracking because there would be a practicality to it too,
Yes.
right? Like
Right. Right.
I'm progressing in this way and it's tangible.
Right. And compared
Yeah.
with others too, maybe a Mars and Aquarius, right? And compared to my community or
Mars and Aquarius is also going to say fuck you if you try to tell them what to do,
yeah,
right? So
100%.
like they have to come up with that on their own. Has to
Yeah.
be 100% their idea.
Yep.
If you try to suggest it to them, they're going to go the opposite direction just
Fuck
for,
you. Yeah.
you know. Um yeah, so you have to know that if you're working with a Mars and Aquarius, there's a natural rebellion,
Yes.
and so much so that you might even it might be to your own downfall,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Being contrary for contrary's sake isn't always the healthiest choice, right? But it's something they have to work through, right?
Right.
So the best thing you could do is just let them.
Yeah. Appealing to maturity. How are you going to feel? Because they have a bigger picture, right? So if you have a
Hmm.
bigger picture and you know not working out is not going to bode well for you later on, right? Then
Right?
appealing to the future self,
The
right?
logic, right? Yeah.
Down the road,
You're
Mars.
not going to be able to guilt trip them into working out, but you might be able to logic them into it.
Yes, totally
Yeah.
that. And then a
Yeah.
Mars in Pisces is also another like fluid movement. I think Gibraltar Strait.
Right. Go swimming,
Yeah.
get stoned and
Martial
do some
arts.
yoga, you know.
Yeah, martial arts. So adding a spiritual musical component would be really important.
Tai Chi. I think of
Yes.
Tai Chi,
Yeah,
right? A
right.
slow,
Mhm.
intentional,
Yeah.
right? Breathe, breath work.
Yes.
Breath work could be its own exercise for a Pisces
Yeah,
Mars.
Tantra yoga, I think of that too, right? Like
Hmm.
something where you are putting, yeah, you're putting spirituality. Yeah, it's just what I think of, right? Music.
Right.
You're putting music into you're putting animals into your Mars
Spirituality into your
motiv
exercise, probably, right? Like,
motivators. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
meditation, maybe some really like
Yeah.
spiritual type music, maybe like tuning forks and frequencies and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um,
Paying attention to that inner health that manifests outward, right? To outer health.
yes,
Yeah.
right. And then
Yeah.
knowing that that vibration will change everybody's all
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
right? That would be the more important thing.
Yeah. Footwork too. It rules the feet. So I think of like, I don't know, doing things with feet. I don't know.
So
Anyway,
that is
that's our quick Mars health spiel. Everyone will be
our
interested in health some way because we had a Virgo moon on the new year. So that's where the moon was.
so if this was a topic on your mind,
Yeah.
right? Astrology can give you more insights to this. And so if you need to message us, so you
Hell
can find
yeah.
out what your Mars is, do that and we'll help
Ask
you look
me
it up.
anything. We have a Stan Ask Me Anything, 20 bucks. Ask us about your Mars and we will tell you best way to
Oh
go.
yeah, we'll link
Yeah.
our yeah, ask anything
Yeah.
video.
So I'll link my
Awesome.
Lacey Wester health coach for when I went back through this back in the day.
Yep. In detail. This is a
Yeah.
quick overview. This is just
Yeah.
right real fast, but
Yeah.
there's more information
Yes.
there.
Available.
And yeah, you can always reach out.
Yep. Thank you so much. Bye.